First things first, guys. Can you hear me? Because I have a new microphone. So can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me, guys? Can somebody answer? Any sound? Oh, you can hear me. So it sounds good? Sounds better than normal? Hi, Libra Lady. Hi, Beatrice Harrison. Karen Bissell. Human Generic. Feisty Butterfly. Hello. So it's sounding pretty good, is it? Better? I didn't get a great big thing, but I did get a little KLIM. So, yes, you can hear me. Is it better than it used to sound? I was having trouble with Zoom, with people hearing me on Zoom as well and stuff. So, that's good. I hope everyone's going well. If you're in New South Wales, I hope that, or Queensland, I hope that you're okay with that. The flooding hasn't impacted you too much, but the cleanup. It's. I've been on the emergency services end of that cleanup as a member of the state emergency service after a major flood like that, and it is. Oh, I went 3.5 days without sleep. And yeah. So it is really quite a big thing. I hope everyone is going okay. Yeah, I finally got it to start at, like, as I said a few weeks ago, I was pushing my start times back to 10 o'clock. I finally got there. Oh, yeah, they are absolutely heartbreaking, the floods, aren't they? I can share my screen for a minute and I can show you an example of just how bad they are. That's Messenger. I'm on Facebook. And I'll see if I can find the picture. Oh, I hope that little pussy cat got found. There's a cat missing. Hubby posted a picture yesterday. I love the sunflower thing. The sunflower thing. That is, I love that piece. That's just, yeah. Hubby posted a picture, so hang on. I might be able to find a quicker way to do it. Google Liz Moore. flood. Those images. Yeah, the McDonald's sign is the biggest, the one that tells it all. So the town of Lismore, which is up closer to the Queensland border, so the rain bomb has stopped up there, but there's still a lot of rain happening. I'm going to share my screen for a minute and show you how bad the flooding got in the town of Lismore. So share screen. So this image is the Guardian. So share. And so this is from the town of Lismore, which is a couple of 100 kilometres south of the Queensland border. Now all that rain's moved south down towards Sydney and everything. But this is the McDonald's at Lismore, and this is how bad the flooding got. So you can see that this drive-through sign here is all the way up here. So that's how bad it got. And it's just absolute devastation. So prayers for everyone who is still trapped. There's still a lot of people trapped. There's been several people lost. Yeah, oh my God, yeah. See if I can. The locals there. No, that's Lismore, Brisbane. This is the Brisbane River. This is from 3 days ago. That's on the banks of the Brisbane River. This is some of the aftermath. Oh, Geek, you are such a wonderful, wonderful person. I'm sure Melinda's just absolutely blown away and can't wait till she gets it. You are one in a million. You know, if there were more people in the world like you, the world would be so much better off. So Geek, big burst of love, everyone, to Geek Hillbilly. Yeah, so you can see, like, that's not too high, but you don't want to go walking through that. People go, oh yeah, you can just walk through the floodwaters. No, there's also some very nasty snakes and things like that. So these are some of the images from the east coast of Australia. I'll put in Richmond is copying it at the moment, which is on the outskirts, because the Hawkesbury River winds its way around Sydney. Richmond is a western suburb of Sydney. So you can see where it's spilling over. So that's British Columbia. That's Ballina in New South Wales. Richmond, New South Wales, not British Columbia. New South Wales. But got to make sure. You tend to forget that there's towns with the same name elsewhere. This is Cripping in New South Wales North Coast. which is where um, Lismore is. Windsor, the town of Windsor. Look at this. This is just from last year. Now, a lot of New South Wales went through very similar things last year. And they're going through it again. So, yeah. And what's this one? This one was from a long time ago, 2019. 2019, it will flood again. So it's just, yeah. We have our fair share. I know that some people, often we're referred to as the lucky country, but yeah, having seen time and time again the results of what our country can do to us. I haven't felt that clutch in my stomach since I looked at pictures after Cyclone Yahtzee back in 2010. And yeah. So Libra lady, hello. Who I miss? Geeks, come on. Catherine Stubbs, Oline, how are you, my dear? Grandma D, Renee. Yeah. Well, you help in so many ways. Yeah. Feet over flood stage. Yeah. Hazard was completely flooded. Oh, and it is such a misery, the mud. I remember going into a house after the 1997 floods in Townsville as part of the SES, and it was like 3 foot high. Now, this house had stilts. It was like 2 foot off or 3 foot off the ground. So you had to walk up some steps to get into it. And inside the house, the mud was 3 foot high. We got called back from that. I had to get recalled from that house back to headquarters because needles were found. So then we all had to go through a series of shots as well. Yeah. So just sharing with you guys some of the things that's happening on our east coast at the moment. Up north and down the middle of the country, from the northwest, from the Kimberley down into northwestern South Australia, there's a huge rain band from a tropical cyclone. We've been okay. We had a little bit of rain, but we have nothing going on here that's of concern. So we're just I'm grateful to be where I am. I don't know how many times I've said that over the last 2 years. I feel grateful and to be located where I am, but it's still hard to watch people and places I know or places I know and love get swamped. There's nothing I can do, but yeah. And know that there's people I love over there too. It's my brother's in Brisbane. One of my good friends is in Brisbane. Fortunately, we've heard back that they're all okay. The bulk of my family is in Wollongong and Sydney. My cousin lives in Sydney and stuff. They're all okay. Just yeah. So if you're in one of those places where it doesn't seem to have touched things that haven't touched you too much, yeah, I thank the universe every day that I am where I am located physically. So yeah. Hi Clarence Field. Hi Kenya Joan. Mm. Okay, so what do you want to read on, guys? 992 loaders. Yeah, it's oh, that's why I always praise people who help themselves. Um, Make sure they do everything they can, and then in the aftermath, do everything they can first, and then go out and help others. Um, it's hard. It's hard. I know during the 1997 floods, one of our SES members was out there for a week straight helping people, and when she got home, the whole house was gone. Nobody had told her. Nobody had prepared her for it, and nobody had, you know, she just got there, and they just, yeah. Anyway, so we're going to move on from the flooding and everything. I was just showing some pictures of New South Wales. It went ding, did it?
I don't know what that means.
It means that hopefully you'll have to. Now you'll have. Oh no, it's just Facebook.
Yep. With you.
Susie's added 5 new photos. All right. When is Putin going to give it up? Good question, my darling. Putin does not give up when he's forced to, when he has nowhere else to go. So everyone who's joined me, how's the sound? Because I got a new microphone. I got a microphone. So camera and microphone. Got the set, so I hope it's all going well. Yeah, James the coffee man just came in. He made me a coffee before. And thank you for letting me show you some of the things that are going on in parts of my country. Oh, our Prime Minister has got COVID. I can only say that we hope he recovers. He's fully vaccinated and everything, and he'll get good treatment. He's the Prime Minister. And that's not to say that people, being in that, you get a certain level of treatment that others might not get. And I suppose being in the office that you are in, where you are responsible for a whole country, that's understandable. But, yeah, still. But we hope that that's all right. Oh, I've been meaning to watch Whimsy. Yeah. Let's have a look. When will this end or start ending? Because it's not all just going to disappear overnight. Universal Spirit and guides of the highest truth and compassion, can you please lead me to the energy of the conflict in Ukraine? Can you please give me some indication of when this will end? Will it be days or weeks? Are we looking at days? Wow, it's you know what I said, that it's not like it's all just going to disappear overnight. Look what's come up. So it could be days. Yeah, Scotty from marketing does have COVID. Yeah. So this is the Magician. It could be days as Ukraine is being given more and more tools to fight back. Um, Page of Swords. That doesn't mean he's going to be really disappointed. But he's a terrier, which is often represented by the tail. To him, this might just be, if he might just look at it as the first foray, the first of many, but it's not going to be the first of many. The first of many stabs. Hello, my darling. Are you going to show everyone your pretty face? Cameo, sweetheart. Oh, you show everyone your pretty face. Yeah, you show everyone your pretty face. What are you sticking your nose in that for? Just full of odd pens and stuff. Yeah, you're my darling girl, aren't you? Yeah. Oh, the crossover with families is, yeah, amazing. So let's continue in this read. Is it going to be days? I've got the 10 of Wands. There's still negotiations happening. I love the Ukrainian people. The Ukraine is willing to negotiate, but they are not going to agree to any of Russia's terms. Hell yeah, go for it. Hi, Anna Macedo and Helena Harrison. Hello. She's gorgeous. Got the 10 of Wands. There's still some struggle ahead. But, of course, with the 10, it's coming to an end. It's this 10 odd days, like week and a half sort of thing. Then we've got the 2 of Wands on top of the 10. I'm getting restored dominion. What's Ace of Swords? Yeah. I'm looking at possibly 10 days to 2 weeks. It could be before that, very hopefully, yeah. Or 2 days, 2 to 10 days. So longer than 2, but less than 10 possibly. The oligarch, I know that Putin called a meeting with the oligarchs. I'm going to have a look at that. As well. So I'm thinking 2 to 10 days. And of course, it's silly to say that it's all going to disappear. It's not, of course. Of course it's not. The devastation that's going to be left behind has all got to be taken care of and cleaned up. Yeah. Hi, Crazy Cat Lady Farley. There is hope here. Disappointment. I'm reading disappointment, but he's a terrier and he's going to be a real brat about it. Hi, Danelle Hagen. We're looking at how long this is going to last, days or weeks. And I'm got 2 sets of wands here, 2 and 10. So possibly more than 2, but hopefully no longer than 10, and that's in terms of days. Yeah. So hopefully all of us in this community, Whimsy, other people, myself, whoever saw the 3 days, hopefully we are all right. But the after effect of this is not going to disappear quickly. The after effect, the aftermath is going to go on for months, if not possibly years. Yeah. Yeah, he's selling a team to a Swiss person. Oh, no, he's already agreed to sell it to a Swiss person. The reason he's selling it is he doesn't want the club to suffer. That's why when all this started, the first thing he did was put management of the club into a trust, and he is selling it to a Swiss person. For him, he could have hung on to the club, and then the club would have started very slow death. He didn't want that. So he, just because they're an oligarch doesn't mean that they're an all-round bad person. But yeah, it's already been arranged because if nobody buys that club, even if the management is in trust, it will die a slow death. So don't wish it. And the fact is that the Swiss guy's not going to be able to get the money into Russia to him. He knows it's going to be isolated. But yeah. And honestly, in terms of how much the club would cost, it's not a lot to an oligarch. So the aftermath, yeah, not just for Ukraine, but for Russian citizens as well. Yes, it's going to be months, if not years. Okay, now we know that Putin called a meeting with the oligarchs, tried to tell them what he was going to do with their money. And I know they've got a bit of his money tied up into it, so they might be happy to just give him his money back and say go for it. But he wants all their money as well. So what happened in that meeting? Let's see if we can get an inside peek into that meeting with the oligarch, Putin and the oligarchs. So, God to the highest truth and compassion, can you please guide me to that meeting, to the energy of that meeting, so that the cards may pick up on the story. It's about 23 of them. I'm getting shaking heads. I'm getting stiffening, crossed arms, and I'm getting Putin. Do. Okay. So yeah. So he was railing at them, and some of them are like, yeah, but there's like this, there's different bodies, there's head shaking. Yeah. Oh, bless your friend Renee. Oh, to see something like that, it's bad enough when it's from natural events like with the flooding or a cyclone, to see places and love leveled and just wiped off the earth, or a fire. That for something that's done by people, it's just beyond understanding. Okay, what happened in that meeting? Resources. He wants the money. It's all about him saying, I'm going to take all your money to continue my war. Seven of Wands. Yeah, the body language, it's some of them are saying, whoa, hold up. It was quite fiery. The Seven of Wands, standing up, standing in defense, saying, no, this far and no further. Yeah, we'll give you your money back, but you're not getting ours. That sort of stuff. This is where the line is, buddy. We're not going to go bankrupt for your war. You can have your money back. We can survive without it. But you're not going to use us anymore. Not all of them were like that. There were a few who were like, oh, yes, anything you want, let me kiss your revered butt. But a good majority of them were. It was really, really very fiery and overflow of emotions does not even begin to describe it. I'm reading on the energy of the meeting that Putin called all the oligarchs to in Russia. Eight of Cups. A good deal of, what you've done is caused the world to turn against us, to turn away from us. We're businessmen, We're not despots, we're businessmen. But you think you're an emperor. Remember, you were elected. You're not the emperor you think we are. You think you are. And it's definitely going to lead to a change in the power dynamic in Russia after all this. These are people who have a lot of money still, even if it's all been, a lot of it's been tied up. They still have a lot of money in Russia. They can still, Have the oligarchs put Putin on notice? Yes or no? Yes. Shift in momentum along with the change. Yeah. They didn't want this. They may not be the nicest people on earth, a lot of those oligarchs. Some of them are just really just businessmen, what they appear to be, very rich. And some of them, of course, didn't mind riding on Putin's coattails to make their money. But I think there's less of those than there are of the other sort who, But I think they put him on notice. Oh, your friend. Oh, I feel heartbroken for your friend. Her family is safe. Yeah. Admitting the Ukraine to NATO right now would be a bit of a misstep, but as soon I do see Ukraine being part of NATO within 2 years. Oh no. Celtics here. These oligarchs are not going to be easy to get to. If he could just knock them off and take their money, he would have done it by now. It's not that simple. It's a very, very complex web there. Now, I'm just asking the people who've joined recently, how is the sound? Because I've got a new microphone. So just asking you, Is it sounding good? I've got it. I'm at a distance of about this far from the microphone. Can you guys all hear me all right? Sounds good? No, he's not. Oh, good. Yeah, it came yesterday, the microphone. I'm glad it did. Hi, Dawn Hooper. He's not in his right mind. Absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah, Everton. So this guy is selling it. Well, he's one who's proud to know Vladimir Putin. So obviously he's a butt kisser. Let's hope that the club, yeah, I'm glad it's being sold, because you don't want those players to suffer and that club to suffer because of who was owning it. How much longer? I did a read on that a little bit earlier. I'm looking at 2 to 10 days. How ill is, let's have a look then. How ill is Putin? I'm going to get my modern tarot reader deck out for that one, with all the, I have all my decks just here now, just here, except for some oracle ones over there. But yeah, it sort of keeps them close, and then I've got the ones I use a lot in a box, in a couple of boxes just to my right here. But because I had to clear the table for studies as well, so doing this, both of them is now. I'm going to have a look and see how ill is Putin. Now, remember, I'm not a doctor. Okay. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not any of those things. So, but let's have a look. I think Putin's around 75, isn't he? Yeah, entertainment purposes only. Thank you, Deb said. I always put that in when I set up my lives and stuff, and when I do a pre-record, and I haven't done any pre-records in ages, so I'm going to have to do that. I've got so many subjects I want to do videos on. Oh, 4 Russian fighter jets have violated Swedish airspace. I said to James a couple of days ago, Putin's going to stuff up, even probably inadvertently, and he's going to hurt a NATO country, and then it's that could be the reason for it ending very quickly. But $69. Okay, thank you. How is Putin's health? Let's have a look. A card dropped out. 10 of coins. It's got the whole lot here. This is telling me, because Pentacles, of course, is the suit of health, that there's a lot with him all over. There's a lot wrong with him all over the place. Heart, bones, brain, lungs. So we'll put this at the center, okay? What's the challenge with his health? Suit of coins, the ace of coins. It's got the skull. His head. The advice. King of Queens. He reached in terms of things happening, it's like the advice is he is not yet at that stable place he needs to be the King of Coins, in rude health, to be in the best health he can be. He's got to work towards that. Doctors must be like, why won't you? At the base of this, the star, directions, pointing, spinal nerves. This is like aspects of the spinal column here. These are vertebrae. Nerves. You know, this could be Parkinson's. This could be Parkinson's with the star card. Hoping for more treatment, for better treatment. The outcome. 8 of Swords, constriction of movement, constriction of movement, constriction of thought. And trapped within himself, which you do end up becoming with Parkinson's. Yeah, because nerves go down your spinal column. Does he have dementia? 9 of Queens. He's still in some control, but I'd say that this is yes, but it's not so advanced that he's got no control. But how is he deteriorating quickly? Oh, got the 2 of Coins. It's like up one day, down the other, up one day, down the other, up one day, down the other. We've got some heart problems as well, which I think I mentioned with the 10. And that balancing with his heart problems. Is he in danger? Because I've got stroke coming through. Is he in danger of a stroke as well? 9 of Wands. Yeah, he's a real 9 of Wands. Yes, he's in real danger of a stroke. His whole body is so in battle with illness, and his high blood pressure and stuff. He's in real danger of a stroke. So yeah, high blood pressure, problems with his heart, Parkinson's, and dementia, which still hasn't overwhelmed him, but it's looking like he's going to be very much in a helpless position. With the Eight of Swords. I'm not going to ask when. This is just what I think is wrong with him. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's some of the oligarchs don't they can set people, they're powerful people in their own right. Hi Kevin from Kevin's Loving Vibrations. How are you? Hey sweetheart, could you do me some coffee? Thank you, sweetie. He watches me. Yeah. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. Hi, what? Spirit beyond the stars. Oh, look. If a stroke occurs, maybe, but there's still people in the Russian government who will do anything to save face. So you can't count on his health giving way. Yeah, it's my grandma had Parkinson's, Aline. Yeah, it's yeah. She was still very largely herself. Last time I saw her, of course, the effects were there and things like that, but she hadn't slipped into that time. So my grandma with Parkinson's, which was good because she could recognize me. She knew who James was, all that sort of stuff. But of course, the physical effects were showing and some of the mental effects as well. My other grandmother had Alzheimer's. I offered to go and visit her when we were coming over here because we went through New South Wales when we moved over here. And my mum said, no, she wouldn't recognise you. And I think she'd want you to remember her, how she was when she visited us because of about 96 or so, when she visited us up in Townsville, she could remember us as children, but she could still take what she remembered from children and associated it with the adult. So it just took her a couple of times, and she'd stop and she'd think, oh yes, okay, you're growing now and stuff like that. So she could still remember stuff and stuff. But so I fortunately have my last memories of both my grandmothers were they were still, yes, the effects of the illnesses were very apparent in both of them, but they weren't at that point where they lost everything about us. And I again, like I said, there's so many things I'm grateful for, and that is one of the things. Oh, let's have a look at that. Aren't they getting close to a cure? I don't know if they're ever going to be able to cure these things, but treating. It depends on what you call a cure. Thank you, Anna Macedo. I do appreciate that. Mikado? Is it with a K or a S? Yes, sweetheart.
We need to buy one of those $4,000 Italian coffee machines. Then I'll go do a 2-week barista course. Yeah, right, guys. No, it is.
I think you'd make a great barista.
Yeah, I would.
I really do. I think you'd make a great barista. And
Like,
I know
you're
you've always
speechless.
thought, I'd like to learn to make all those little pictures. I'd love to be able to see you do that. But I don't think you need a $4,000 coffee machine to do it. You can get them for a few hundred.
Any coffee machine right now is out of the question.
Well, that's true. You
Well,
can't even go and get pods for your pod machine.
I'll work a way around that. Don't you worry about that. As Yoki Peterson would say.
Oh,
What?
don't bring up him.
Oh,
There's more cream coming this afternoon, baby.
his wife made
There's more
a
cream.
scone.
Well, she was famous for her pumpkin scones,
Yeah.
but
See,
I was
even
never that
positive.
big a fan of pumpkin scones. So,
Yeah. No.
Chrissy, I could send that 70-cup coffee urn you have.
Tea room still exists.
Hey?
Hey, what?
Does the what? Tea room still exist?
Remember the scones we used to get there?
No,
Oh, they
they
changed.
changed it to like more Vietnamese food and all that sort of stuff. So it's still a nice little place, but the
Yeah,
whole
it's
menu's
not the
changed and
original.
everything. But
Oh.
that bakery, what about the scones at that bakery? Just down the road there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're like this big. Scones, I suppose, are what you guys would call biscuits.
Jam
And they're huge. We have them with jam and cream, yeah, or with butter. They're nice and hot.
Anything else, baby?
No, that's it. So are they close to a cure for Parkinson's? There's a lot of research and they are getting some good results from research. An absolute cure? No. I don't know that it's ever going to be an absolute cure for Parkinson's. But the treatment, temperate, a way to bring things back into balance. I think once you have it, you have it. But the treatments are going to mean that the balance between everything is going to remain. There still might be some little thing, you might still get some shakes and all of that, but that the slow dementia part of it and the slip into dementia in which so many people, they just end up not eating and they get organ failure and all that. There's definitely medications and treatments coming along that will affect the part of the brain that's the dementia part. I don't know that they're ever really fully going to get rid of the shakes and all that. But when you think about being able to hang on to your sense of self and not go down that dementia thing, for a very long time. Much more stable and balanced, and making the care of Parkinson's, people with Parkinson's, so much easier. So yes, I think there's going to be some really, really good breakthroughs. Especially with that road down dementia and the elixirs. There's still a couple of false starts ahead. This is the night of elixirs. So the offer. So there's still a couple of false starts. There's still a couple of things that aren't going to work the way they want. But yes, it's getting closer. And I don't know if the nervous system stuff is going to be able to be stabilized. I think there's always going to be some shakes and stuff, but it's that slide into dementia that I think they're going to arrest quite a bit. I mean, there might still be some forgetfulness, there might still be a little bit of this and that, but that total helplessness in dementia, I think they might be able to arrest that. And at least the quality of life for people who have Parkinson's is going to be so much better. But a complete cure, I don't know. I do think that what they might come in with the dementia part for Parkinson's I got a link to Alzheimer's. So some of that might be able to transfer it over to Alzheimer research. But of course, there's differences in the two diseases and stuff. But there might be some helpful stuff come out for Alzheimer's as well. That's just from what I read on the cards, okay? Oh. Yes. Yeah. It wouldn't progress. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't mean that they'll stop like the shakes and all that, which is often one of the first signs. But that, yeah, it might not progress beyond a certain thing, but it's still going to affect your health before and all that. So let's hope that what I got there is right. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of pumpkin scones, but you know, they're a bit too sweet for me. I like a good old-fashioned scone, or a fruit scone. But pumpkin scones, they tend to be loaded with sugar, and they're a bit too sweet for my taste. That's all. Or the pumpkin, depending on the pumpkin you can use. So, okay, guys, more questions? Anyone got more questions? No, not big on chocolate chip scones. Not big on chocolate chip hot cross buns either. I'm a bit of a traditionalist. Pumpkin scones is pretty traditional by now, but I just too sweet for me. But I just like a good old plain scone or a fruit scone, or good old fashioned spicy fruit hot cross bun. Understand that people who can't have the fruit, yeah, that's fine. I've got no problem with that. So the fruitless ones, probably if I was going to have a hot cross bun, I should have a fruitless one. But I like the other ones. Okay, Kevin, hi. Do you see the sanctions investigations into the Russian oligarchs revealing ties to dark money given to the GOP? Interesting. Wow, interesting question. When I turn away, it's because I'm getting a deck. All this has provided an opportunity for people to go where they might not have been able to go before investigation-wise. Hi, Anna Bodio. How are you? Green oversized double cinnamon buns. I don't know what they are. I know what I like. It's finger buns, iced finger buns. Yummy. Oh, and cream buns from when I was a kid. It's really hard to get cream buns nowadays. Oh, of course, being diabetic. All of those things. Mm. And a Badia, try alternative medicine. Always look, it's up to people if they do want to try alternative approaches to their treatment, but you do really have to be really investigate what you're doing and stuff like that. Mm, yeah, a lot of people do choose to try alternative ways of treatment. Um, just seek treatment. What, however way you do it, just seek treatment. And seek the best treatment you can. That's all I can say. I won't advocate a traditional against alternative. I see good in both. I see good in both. So that I don't see the good of rejecting one over another. I think in combination they can be great. But yeah, I would never. Yeah. Oh, Ewok, don't throw carrot cake at me. Oh. With the frosting, Ewok. Sorry, no, really moist carrot cake with frosting. The frosting is part of the experience. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Otherwise, I will give in and I will get menu log or Uber Eats and get printings from the Cheesecake Shop and near the Marbio. I can do that. Oh, can we please stop talking about yummy foods? Dark money investigations, oligarch investigations. Will the sanctions and investigations expose dark money to GOP and others? You know, you can't say that every Democrat had, you know, they went through a huge clean out process, but, you know, I better check that. We're expecting some groceries, that's all, my dears. So, ooh, 10:55 to 12:50. Ooh, okay. Got something good coming. Um, I've just got to go tell James something really good. I'll be back in a minute. I can't think it's going to be huge.
No. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got this.
So I've just got to make a little sign, okay? This is really important. Something we're very excited about. We weren't sure whether we took a gamble, and sometimes these gambles you get ripped off. We don't know what we're getting, but we bought a little job lot bundle for.
It's being run by.
I think it was like we paid $30 all up with postage, and
run by a Nigerian prince.
it's not run by a Nigerian prince. No, that was a different company, James.
Okay.
And it's being delivered today, but we just want to let them know that yes, there's somebody at home. So I'm going to make a quick sign
I'll be ready to.
that says we are home. Please ring doorbell.
That's the last thing we need right now. Okay.
We don't know what we're going to get.
I'm just going to check the bells working.
Yeah, we don't know what we're going to get, but we're super uber excited about it, and maybe we'll see. I might do a little live tomorrow to see what if we got anything working. Hey? Yeah. Yeah. That's James.
All right, you're on the side.
Home. Please ring doorbell.
Printer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you still doing your broadcast right now?
Yeah. I just told them that we're a bit excited. This is just we thought we'd take, and if it all fell to bits and we were ripped off, it was only going to cost us $30. So we were like,
and leave in front of the door or something.
Please ring doorbell and leave beside the door. Yeah. And leave.
Anybody?
And I'll put Australia Post. Australia Post.
That it's interrupting your broadcast.
Australia Post.
People understand.
I have a very understanding audience, don't I, my darlings? Australia Post. We are home. Please ring doorbell and leave beside the door. And, I'll print it. You'll put it out there. Current slide only. Yep. Print. You could get anything from teddy bears to limpet magnetic mines. Well, the teddy bears would be cool. Hi, Sheila, my darling. So what we might do is tomorrow we might have a bit of a unboxing video, or I will show you what we got.
I don't know. It could
Spray.
be embarrassing.
If it's embarrassing, we'll say, it was just full of crap. But it could be fun crap. If it's fun crap, you know me. If it's fun crap, silly stuff, I'm all for it. And we'll put today's date on it. What is it? It's the 3rd, 03, 22.
Okay,
what time is it? 11:05.
okay.
Yeah. So anytime in the next 2 hours.
Anytime in the next 2 hours, you're excited.
Yeah, aren't you?
No,
We're a bit worried that we'd made a mistake, but then we thought, oh, well, if we have, we might try and get the money back through PayPal. But if we have, and even if we get some crap, it's like, could be fun crap. So it's just, hi, new grandma. How are you? Brighter. Sophie, hello, my darling. And Sheila, hello. And Kevin, are you still there? So it's a little bit of excitement. I don't think we'll do it again, even though this company have proven to be rigidage so far. Rigidage is A-OK, true, the real thing. That's what rigidage means, okay? Which I have not used in years. I don't think I was ever really a user of the term rigidage, but that's what it means. It means it's the real thing. Um, yeah. So, anyway, sorry. Now, what was I going to look at? I was looking at the will the sanctions and investigations against the oligarchs find a trail of dark money to GOP and others? Because we can't pretend that every Democrat won't do whatever it takes to get what they, to get there. I can remember a time I can't remember it, but I have read a time in history where the Republicans were the good guys and the Democrats were the bad guys and stuff. So it's, yeah, growth. And then you saw the growth of the transformation of both parties, but unfortunately it was in the reverse. We have stopped talking about cakes and frosting. You got 15 laptops, 2 tablets, and 30 swear bears, cuddling teddy bears. I think you might have paid more than $9.99 US, which is what we paid for the pallet and the postage. We paid $29 Australian, so $20 US, yeah. But I tell you, I wouldn't mind a new Kindle, but I don't know if it's going to be that good. Okay, let's have a look. Let's trace. Is there a traceable path of money from oligarchs to GOP and others? Let's see. Page of Wands. There's definitely connections. In this deck, of course, I'm using the Connolly deck here, and this features very heavily the pyramids, which represent connections. So there's definitely connections. And the page, of course, is an orator. King of Wands, again, connections. King of Wands quite often to me comes up with Trump. And I do feel like there might be some trace connection to Trump. $30 US local pickup. Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to get 15 laptops. Oh, it would be awesome even if I got one, but I don't think we're going to get that. But it's going to be really good fun to see. Hi, Angie's dad. Oh, that's a great question, and I will look at that next. That's one of the concerns, isn't it, with the WHO? The head of the WHO came out with that. So yeah, definitely details coming out. So after I've done this will trails or connections be uncovered between the oligarchs and elected officials? Will go, because you can't just say it's only going to be GOP. There are people who, but there's definitely details that are going to come out. Some of them it's going to be pretty easy to track. Some of them. It's going to lead to a change to their place in the world. Interesting, because that's campaign finance violations. King of Pentacles, basically corruption. That it's corrupt money. Never got rid of the cussing bears. Oh, they actually did swear. You know what? Take them to old people's home and all that, and just say, I've got some bears here for you. They actually cuss. So if you want one, have one. But if you don't have to get one. And I reckon you would just make their day. They had to repair the laptops. This was all return stock, I think. Some of it's been open, some of it's been unopened. There's definitely are going to be a few people who are going to start feeling very insecure. There's at least 4. Oh, it's going to show up very clearly. It's going to be like, this is not just campaign finance violations. This is bordering on treasonable, taking money from other countries to do their bidding, to manipulate the US government. It's going to lead to a change for a lot of people. And yet there's got people who thought who've been able to get away with it for years. They're no longer going to be able to get away with it. So yeah, there is going to be stuff coming out around this. Yeah. Okay, and somebody asked, will it lead to a surge in COVID in that region? Yeah, I'm seeing a spike. It's going to be relatively quickly, but it's still going to really hurt people who are already hurting. So yeah, I do see a surge amongst if they're all being kept in like camps or whatever, in close quarters, where it's going to go through there, because the stress and the worry, it's going to lower immune systems and stuff, and so they're going to be more open to an injury. So yes, there is going to be a surge in COVID in the Ukraine and stuff, both within the country and within those groups of refugees and all that, and maybe around the borders as well. So yeah, will there be a surge? Yeah, but I do think that things will settle down quite quickly. It's not going to be a very long surge or a long peak. It's going to be pretty quick, fast momentum, but still it's going to be a worry, and it's going to be more help, different sort of help that's going to be have to be taken into the country. Now somebody asked me to read on Biden's State of the Union the other day. I saw some of the highlights, but I'm having trouble remembering back to what I said, and I always do sometimes. But I think I hit it on the head a few times. Can somebody tell me if I did, how right I was in what he was going to say and what he was going to address and his manner and things like that? I'd like a bit of masala. Saviati sponge biscuits masala. Saviati. I love Saviati. Saviati is a dessert. I keep meaning, yes, I know I keep saying I'm going to share it with my fellow readers. Katie, if you're watching, I know I haven't got it to you yet. I think I'm going to have to attach it to my community page. It's the sort of dessert that people who don't have a really big sweet tooth, they quite like, because it's not too sweet. It's something who might like a bit of a desserty thing for a change, but they don't have a really big sweet tooth, and things that are too sweet, They're like, but it's a sort of dessert that appeals to people who, it's not like tiramisu, which is stacked full of coffee. I don't like tiramisu. I just find it too strong in the coffee, which you might find strange. But yeah, I don't like tiramisu at all, actually. But Saviati, love it. Hey, Geek, if you still got one of those swear bears, maybe you can send me one. I've got a postal address somewhere on my community page. I'd love a swear bear, a swearing bear. Where's Sparkle Fart's gone? He knocked off his perch. Will we please stop talking? You guys are torturing me on purpose. Stop it. You keep forgetting. You do not. Now, yeah, I did ask. Did anyone answer the question I asked? Is how close was I with the with my reading on the State of the Union? Yeah, food teasing. Oh, that's cruel. That is cruel. Yeah. Hi, Deborah Costro. Anyone got a question for me? Yeah. I don't believe you. I don't. No, Eva. I'm sorry. I don't believe you. I don't. In no way meant it as a. Oh. Should I forgive Ewad or not? Let's have a look. Yeah. Kevin McCarthy has kept playing with his phone, just kept playing with his phone. Oh, yeah, he was sending things to Trump. But what I loved, because of courtesy, etiquette, when the vice president and the speaker of the house rise to give Trump a Biden a standing ovation, everybody else, of course, has to rise as well. And I only saw some highlights, but I saw Kamala and Nancy up on their feet like every time. I don't know how many times they got up on their feet and started a standing ovation with which caused everyone to go on their feet. And some people didn't clap, but a lot of others didn't. Good night, Kevin. Thank you for joining us. I don't know. I just think that was absolutely hilarious. And I'm sure they did it on purpose. Yes, woo! Forcing all these GOP people up on their ground, all the ones who attended, that is, up on their feet. And of course, the Democrats were like, oh, yeah, no problem. But Kevin McCarthy's like, you could see him after the second time. He's like, I gotta go up. Stuff like that. It was just the funniest thing. I mean, and he was great. I thought he was great with the highlights I saw. Yes, he didn't address some things. Is what he might. I think I said he's not really going to address the election lie. I don't know what I said about one sex, whether he would or he would not address it, but I don't think he did. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyone got any questions? Oh, I've got one. What did Trump did watch the State of the Union. He did. He'll say he didn't, but he did. Peanut butter roll. I don't know what that is, my dear. I love peanut butter on French bread. Oh. Yeah, good night, Kevin. Thank you for joining, my dear. I'm going to have to, Kevin, please send me an email, my dear, so I can send you an invite to join me one day. And I'll have to do a session with Ben from Beneficial Tarot. He's, of course, a good 5 hours behind me, so I'm going to have to do it at a time where he can join us. Rumble Butt Munch. I love that name. Okay, how was Trump's reaction to I'm getting a picture of everyone going around him saying, just let it go, just let it go, don't listen, just don't watch, just let it go, just let it go. And he's like, why is anyone in there? Why any GIP there? They shouldn't be there. Every time Pelosi and Harris force the GOP who were there up onto their feet. And he was just furious. Those people are going on his shit list. People who attended the speech are going on his shit list. He's determined to defeat them, get rid of them. Oh, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. You can't trust a word he says. You just can't trust a word he says. You know, it was all lies. Everything he says is lies. You know, the whole country's going down the crap. And only I can get it out of the toilet. You know, that sort of thing. This is his reaction. It's all lies. It's all lies. He should be locked up. He should be locked up. It's all lies. He's totally corrupt. Yeah, here on top of that, he's really pissed off at anyone who attended. Like I said, we've got the lovers, but upside down. A rift. Ooh, those people, they don't love me anymore. I'm going to get them. I'm going to defeat them. I've got the star card reversed. It's why are you giving people hope? There's no hope. I'm the only one who can give people hope. I'm the only one who can say good things. It's all bad. Everything he's doing is bad. It's going to ruin the American people. Everything except that defeats card is reversed. The Eight of Swords is reversed. This is like, oh, See, he didn't even mention 1/6, so of course that proves it didn't happen and I'm out of jail free. Look, I can't, it all proves that he stopped me, that it was all illegal. And I'll stop it. I'll show them all how he won illegally, blah, blah, blah. Just the usual. Yeah. That's all he said the whole way through. More damage. Yeah, my administration did more. Blah, blah, blah. He's ruined everything I did. My administration, he's ruined everything I did, and he's taken hope, and you can't trust anything he's saying. All that crap. Hey? Oh, I'm impersonating Trump. He said, what are you doing? It sounds terrible. Okay. Are many more of the Russian troops going to lay down their arms? In that 40-mile long caravan. It's a risky thing for them to do. Let's have a look. Is it true? Let's have a look, address that first. Is it true that some of the Russian troops are doing their best to help slow Putin down, slow the army down? Is this true? Yes, some of them are. Some of them are doing that. I don't know if it's huge numbers, but I'm getting a picture of saying, get me an armband or something. Do you have an armband? I'm swapping. But this is a very, very confusion. It could be a form of gaslighting as well. So while but there's still a lot of confusion around this, whether it's true or not. And it could be Ukrainians using it to gaslight the Russian troops and all that, and affect their morale. But no, I do feel like, yes, there are some, but maybe not as many as is made out. I'm getting pictures of like cousins coming face to face. I don't think that, thank you, Geek, but I don't think my impersonation of Trump is that crash hot. I think somebody else could do it for South Park. Thank you. But thank you for the compliment. I just got a picture of cousins on either side, and it's like one's going, what the hell am I doing? And it's like they're not laying down their arms. Do you have something yellow and blue that I can tie around my arm? They're ripping off the Russian thing and tying yellow and blue. But yeah, I do think there might be some element of that, but maybe not as much as it's being made out. No, that's not going to happen. They're not going to take me away. Not before my parcel gets here. No, look, I do feel that there are some of these things, like there are some soldiers who are doing that and who are swapping sides, especially when they're being sent into towns that they grew up visiting and they have family members in. I think it's like, and they're feeling betrayed and lied to. But not as many as you would think. And so if they say 1,000 troops have done this, it's more likely to be 100, you know. So if they say 500 soldiers, Russian soldiers have done this, it's more likely to be 50. But there's some gaslighting with the numbers. But yeah, there is the odd example of that. And any more questions, guys? Because I'm going to be wrapping it up. Oh, let's have a look. Somebody asked me the other day and I didn't get around to it. Rat gate. When is this tiresome blip on the radar of life going to be put into some old aeroplane junkyard or scuttled? How's that? Scuttled. Matt Gates. Is it going to be weeks, days, or months? Is it going to be days? Well, there's definitely retreat and retirement. 5 of Pentacles, out in the cold. And the death of a political career. So look, this is coming. But the impact of this is the death of his political career. Of course, we all know that time-wise, tarot can be real crap. Okay? Four, 5. But we've got the 4 here and the 5. Is it between 4 and 5 weeks? Energy's building that. So maybe a month, just over a month. That's a big yes card too. So yeah, so I think there's still a few weeks to wait. Don't look for it in March. I think maybe early April. Early April maybe. Or we're going to get an offer he doesn't want. So yeah. I just know he's going to be dropped cold by the GOP. It's going to be Matt who? Yeah, so maybe we'll look around, revisit Syndrome, as I like to, because honestly, with that hair, he honestly does look like Syndrome from The Incredibles, except that Syndrome's blonde. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. Why April 12th, Geek Hillbilly? Let's have a look. Anything else? Anyone want to ask me anything else before I wrap up? Oh, Texas Republican drops re-election bid after affair with woman once married to, oh, she is gorgeous, isn't she? An IS leader. Oh my goodness. These are the sorts of people that the GOP, Van Taylor, who was bidding for a third term in the US House of Representatives, said, about a year ago, I made the horrible mistake that caused deep hurt and pain amongst those I love most in the world. I had an affair. It was wrong, and it was the greatest failure in my life. They don't care if they have affairs, but John Georgalis, a convert to Islam from Plano, Texas. He's part of the... So, is this going to affect how people view other Texas reps? Because is this going to have a real negative effect on the GOP in Texas? Is this story? It's one thing to align yourself with white supremacists and right wing, but with the Islamic State, is this going to have a bigger effect on the GOP in Texas than they realize? This particular story. Let's have a look at that. King of Cups. Oh my God. That is a big yes. And that is, it's actually going to steer things. Be good for Biden. Two of Rods. A defeat. It is going to be something that they're going to... It's giving people a bit of a peek into the bigger picture of where the GOP are willing to align themselves and who, just to get what they want, whether it's a bit of rumpo or money. This guy was an essential part in establishing the caliphate and alleviating propagandists for the Islamic State, helping to groom other Westerners. Oh my God. Of a sitting US representative. Yeah. So, is Belarus involved in fighting the Ukraine? Let's have a look. Well, of course they're involved. Yeah, I mean, but are they sending in ground troops? I don't know. But they've certainly allowed themselves to be a platform, and they've certainly aligned themselves with Russia. Queen of Cups, Seven of Swords. Yes, but they're trying to be sneaky about it, but that's not going to happen. Things are going to come to light. And they're definitely helping in build-up of energy. I think they've allowed some, the nuclear threat. I think they've allowed some movement into their borders with missile launches or something. I think build-up of energy is always never good. Momentum, build-up of energy and momentum. No, I got that wrong, sorry. But Yeah, they're definitely supporting them more than they're saying, but they're not going to get away with that, and that's going to come out pretty quickly. Hi, Michelle Peterson. Oh, it doesn't need to be over, Friday, because Lukashenko is in Putin's pocket. If Zelensky was in Putin's pocket, he wouldn't have invaded Ukraine, because he could just get them to do what he wanted to. Lukashenko is in Putin's pocket. Oh, so that's a very interesting story. It's going to have a very negative effect on the election. Might even help the Democrats. It will help the Democrats, because it's going to be, well, can we trust these people? He was sleeping with someone connected to the Islamic State, you know? I mean, if he was sleeping with a white supremacist, it would have just gone under the radar. Nobody would have bothered with it. The girl who confessed is a bit pissed off at the person who used it to shake down, because she thought she might just do a nice, quiet, behind-the-scenes fret. But no, she's blurted the whole story out publicly. So this woman's going to have to face some scrutiny she probably doesn't want. She's probably going to cop some backlash, which she probably doesn't really deserve, but, Package with white powder delivered to Russian embassy in Canberra. Okay, I'm going to say something here. That sort of shit is not on. It's just not on. What's it going to achieve? Nothing. But put that person and whoever, whether it's talcum powder or not, that sort of shit is just ridiculous. It's not on. The person who did it grow up, basically. Trying to harm people who work in an embassy thousands of miles away from where the action is, they're no more at fault for what Putin did than anyone else. So, God, just grow a brain. Makes me really angry when people do things like that. Oh, I love this. Here is a study for the effing obvious, a study into the effing obvious. January 6th committee believes Trump may have violated multiple laws. I call that a SITFO, a study into the effing obvious. Or a SOTFO, statement of the effing obvious. Yeah, no white powder talks, guys. So, Sam Elliott and other celebs accused of homophobia and transphobia. If some people can't accept some things, it's sad. It is sad. But destroying a person's career, or trying to destroy a person's career because they're high-profile people. And unfortunately, people do listen to what they think. And perhaps the best thing they can do is not talk about their views, but then their views are being... Then they can say quite rightly that their views are being squashed, you know. Their right to their opinion is being squashed. So I take people how I find them. If I find out that somebody's a trans person or gay or any other thing, it doesn't change what I really know about them as people. And, you know, if they're lovely people, they're still lovely people, regardless of whether they're gay or lesbian or queer or transphobic, or not transphobic, sorry, trans. If they're bad people, they're still bad people. None of that's going to make a difference, you know. Everyone has the right to love and support. Should anyone really have their whole career destroyed for opinions on something? No. Actions that do harm, actions, and continue. But then, then you get the thing with Roseanne and all that. It's like, that person might feel that way, but they're entitled to the opinion, and if they're wrong, they're wrong. But what do you do? What do you do? You know, is it fair to destroy someone's opinion, someone's career and everything because of an opinion? It might not be a nice opinion. I don't know. Yeah, it just really, really... And is it even true, you know? You don't have to express every opinion you've ever had about people. But you shouldn't have the threat of having everything destroyed because you do express an opinion like that. But then isn't it just an odd thing where it crosses a line from, wow, a really bad thing like what Tucker Carlson is doing, to a not very nice thing? But does it just deserve complete destruction of a career? You know? There has to be a line. Isn't it? Doesn't it? Somebody might be transphobic and they might be homophobic, but that doesn't mean that they actively want to go out and destroy someone just because they are. They're just, you know, isn't it terrible? It's just ridiculous. The level of harm that can be done by somebody expressing that opinion. Some actor who says, you know, I don't understand, I don't like her, I'm not comfortable with her, and I guess I'm against it. If they're asked about it, but then doesn't say anything else about it, it's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? What are you going to do? Where do you cross the line from not nice but really impacting that whole world in a whole negative way, to being so active that you do a lot of harm. It's, where do you cross that line? And when does it give you the right to destroy somebody's whole life? It's a bit hard, isn't it? Yeah. Do you destroy an actor's career because they're Republican and very right wing? Or because they're too left wing? I think as long as they keep their politics out of the work and say, yeah, that's my politics, but I'm a professional and I'll work with whoever I'm asked to work with, then, you know, and be a professional about it. I just don't know. Anyway, do I wish everybody was understanding of every other aspect of the community and that those phobias and those prejudices weren't out there? Yes, I do. But they are out there. And where is the point where it gives one group of people the right to destroy another group of people because of their various prejudices or opinions or political views? Yes, there's a point where, yeah, it's got to stop. They've got to be stopped because they're doing so much harm to the community. But then if it's not at that point, just expressing a view that somebody else might not like doesn't mean it's your right to destroy their whole career. Anyway, enough of that. I went off on a bit of a tangent. If if these actors and stuff are like that, I feel sorry for them that they don't get, that they can't see beyond outward appearances to who people really are on the inside with it, and how their actions and their love bring so much to the world. It's a pity. Okay. Well, Linda G was saying the Ukrainian crisis was going to be a big turnaround for Biden. Yes, that's been borne out in his presidency. Okay. So now that I went off on that tangent, and thank you for listening to me, I think I might wrap this up. The 64-kilometer long Russian convoy is approaching Kiev. Is it going to get there? Is it going to get into Kiev? One last question. All right. Unity. Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. Strength, feeling for their country and unity. 8 of Pentacles. More resources coming in. Queen of Swords. No, fight back. Anxiety. No, fight back. It's going to be a struggle, but I do think that they're going to be turned away. They're not going to get right into the city. Okay. Look, guys, I'm going to go now. Thank you very much for joining me. Thanks for my little transfers, you know. I guess my closing message for today is there are a lot of people out there who they have some negative things about them, but they're not all bad. And don't let the negative lead you to discount everything they've ever done and said in their life and lead you to say that that is reason enough to destroy everything they've done, or reason enough to, I'm just talking about normal people here, not someone like Putin or anything like that, but just people who, yeah, a couple of opinions you might not like doesn't mean that that person deserves to be cut off or this or that or the other. So try and find ways to not let differences between people, whether they're a negative opinion or something that you have a very different opinion about, don't let them cut you off from people. That's happened way too much in the last few years. Don't let it continue. Okay? And don't let it lead you to dismiss every good contribution that that people may have made to your life or to life in general or to the community in general. Okay, love you all. Stay safe, stay strong, stay happy, stay loving, and stay healthy. I will be back Sunday unless something big happens. Love you. Bye-bye. And if you want a reading, you can email me at footprinttarot@chrissy.com.